the kids turn unholy, Harrelson's Own keeps my patience divine.
When work flies out of control, Harrelson's Own keeps me cool as a cucumber.
The device madness never ends. My Harrelson's Own keeps me zen.
Life can be chaotic, but Harrelson's Own hemp helps keep you calm through any storm. Harrelson's Own consistently delivers you full mind and body homeostasis. It's an organic, full-spectrum hemp in a refreshing oral spray. Our nano-emulsified technology makes it completely water-soluble, so your body absorbs it immediately. You'll start to feel it in seconds, not 60 minutes. It just makes everything feel better.
It helps me just take the edge off. It helps me relax. It helps me be there with my kids.
I swear I'm like this. Nothing can throw me off balance.
No matter how many things come at me, I'm like,
Daddy's message came Mark next. And that's why you love me. That's why I'm used to mess.
Well, some people take it for a release from stress. Some take it to get rid of pain. Others just take it for general well-being. For me, Brett Harrelson, it just makes everything about my day a little better.
Give your life a boost.
It's just the best you've ever felt in a natural state.
my happiness in a bottle. It's the best.
So to sum it all up, you're going to feel the difference quickly, love the way it feels, and like the way it tastes.
Let's everybody start the show.
You're going to thank us for it. We are so confident you're going to be satisfied that we back every bottle with a 60-day, 100% money-back guarantee. Give Harrelson's Own a try. From our family to yours. Click here to visit our website and learn more.
All right. How are we doing, folks? How are we doing? How are we doing, everyone? And now I got myself a orange dreamsicle. An orange dreamsicle Monster Energy soda. You have one of those yet, Skull Mullet?
An orange dreamsicle? No, I haven't had one of those.
Missing out, I'll say that much.
Is it a soda or is it like a beer?
It's a well, I'd say it tastes more or less like it's a Monster. It's been pretty much flavored with some orange sherbet type of candy in it.
Oh yeah, I don't think we have those in Canada, but I'll keep my eye out.
Yeah, I'd say try it. It's pretty good. I've gotten at least one a day from the gas station recently, and at that, you got to call me a pretty dedicated customer at the end of the day with the orange dreamsicle, especially when Monster's pretty much taking anybody they can. And look at other companies such as Rain. You guys ever heard of Rain Energy?
Yeah, actually, Rain came by my workplace and gave us a couple flats of energy drinks.
Oh yeah, and was it any good? Did you try them?
Yeah, it did make me feel like I was about to have a panic attack, but they were decent. I did the job, but I can only drink about half at a time.
Only half at a time. And see, that's more, I would say that's pretty much one of the smartest things that you can do, or else you last long enough, you start having 2 a day and then 3 a day, and it starts to pile up and get a little bit addicted.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, personally, I'm like a sugar-free Red Bull type of person, and I usually only get the little cans. But those are pretty well much an addiction for me. Like, I go get one of those fuckers, like, daily.
Yeah, and you just get the baby ones? You don't even get the big ones?
No, I get the little ones. Otherwise, I get a little too shaky.
And did they get the Big Daddy? They got the Big Daddy Red Bulls too, or is that only a Monster Energy thing?
They definitely have the big size, but they don't like they're not as big as like the monster cans for like Monster Energy, like the big cans.
Yeah, and those cans are pretty large. Hey, so I was looking at the Reddit Talks features, and guess what, folks? If you have a Reddit app, what you could do is you could check the top of the screen, and there's a little button that says "Happening Now," and there's a little bit of a speaker icon. And if you click on that, nowadays officially have all the different Reddit talks that you can listen to. And so hopefully we get some new folks in here to listen and talk about Hurt Locker, because it looks like Reddit's really going to keep the features going. Hopefully that I was in a talk earlier, not too long ago, just before the show started, went and chatted to some people about a few topics and let them talk about how I was more or less of a cryptid hunter and a survivalist of sorts. And I got to talk. I got to talk most of what I personally do in the woods and in survival situations. And that was good. And I got to say, it's going to really help Reddit grow. I think this community talk feature is really going to help Reddit pretty well much figure out who its audience members really are.
Do you think that you being so prevalent on this feature on Reddit really helped its resurgence?
Yeah, I'd say so. I would like to ask the admins if I could. I want to say, hey, sit them down and go, hey, you check it, and even walk in and not say who I am. And I can even just say I'm someone selling some business. I'll say I'm selling power tools to them. And walk into the Reddit headquarters, the administrative office. Walk up there, and you know what I'd say to them? I'd say, you ever heard of this Bunheim guy, and you ever look at the Voles town hall meetings? Those are pretty good for that website. And I want to see what they say, because I would, if it was up to me, if it was what I had to say, my personal opinion, I say that there's no doubt in my mind that Reddit's keeping these things active because of the Voles forum.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that for the most part. I mean, since we are such a strong community lately, like, I mean, because what are we at? We're over 2K now, aren't we?
I think the last time I checked, we were at 2,700 followers, I think.
That's crazy.
Yep. That's a lot. That's more than you could ever imagine, personally. And like I said, I moderate a few different subreddits. I moderate 7-Eleven. I don't know if anybody's aware of that, but I am in charge of 7. I'm more or less the assistant mod at 7-Eleven. And I think we passed up 7-Eleven not too long ago. I think we already got more members in 7-Eleven. And then the next thing is, what else? What's the other forum I'm in charge of? It's got I think it's the biggest.
You got Naked and Afraid, right? You got Naked and Afraid XL.
Yeah, I got the Naked and Afraid XL, and
you got Hot Dog.
Yeah, I don't got Hot Dog. Hot Dog's never reached out for me to be a moderator.
Oh no!
I'm sad to admit. I'm a bit ashamed to admit, because as it was back in around early 2021, I was the only guy for many days there posting hot dogs. And you know what happens? Guess what happens? You want to guess what happens? What happens?
Go
start posting. And I said I single-handedly got the forum back in action. Now, I got to say, folks, I'm excited to talk to people today, but I would ask that you write your comments in the comment section beforehand, just so I could clear it before bringing you in. We've had a lot of issues with people coming into the forum and just not talking, or just saying, talk about hentai and all the other matters. So just if you want to let me know what you want to say in the comments, and I'll bring you up here. So, but we got a show today. I was hoping Latte'd be here, as well as Goblin Leg. I don't see Goblin Leg anywhere. So it's we'll see. We'll keep hanging on.
Yeah, she might just be delayed, because like I know that Scotland has a tendency for what we call like vortexes, which can throw off clocks. So I wouldn't be shocked if she's just like off by a few minutes. I
gotta admit, I never heard of that.
It's a thing. It's weird. It's a thing.
So she, for all she knows, it could be 5:00 in the morning for her.
Well, it could be 5:00 in the morning, and that's how we got the sport of golf mostly. was working with these vortexes.
What does that mean?
Well, like, I don't know if you've ever played golf, but like it takes longer than you feel like it's an eternity, but it only is like an hour or 2 hours
so
or
you're
whatever.
saying that golf is a vortex.
Yeah, I'm saying that golf it harnesses those vortex qualities, like just because the Scottish are just used to that.
Huh. So you're saying that the Scots designed the game of golf around the vortexes that's pretty much making things feel like they're longer.
Yeah. Like, well, I mean, I guess they were kind of like, well, we keep getting stuck in these things anyway. We might as well just like do something while we're here. I think that's mostly like it was a response to the vortex.
And I noticed one thing about golf is unlike NFL, you got the clock on NFL. You don't got a clock in golf.
No, they let that thing run. Like, I'm certain that there's probably games out there that have lasted like, 18 hours. Like, I'm certain that they've got to be out there, and they're like playing out in the dark. You got to like switch like balls.
Well, they take it really seriously over in Scotland for sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, they have the grass for it, so.
Hey, I was in another Reddit talk, and they were talking about Titanic, and I was saying, hey, first of all, I had to let someone in that thread know the Titanic was actually a real event, and yes, I've always known that. As long as I've lived, I've known the Titanic really was a real ship. And I just want to throw it out there to other people who might not know that Titanic was a real incident. And so I want to treat this discussion with more or less a little bit of respect, as it was a tragedy. But I would have said it if I was back then in that day. The first thing I'm thinking of before people are getting on Titanic is I'm saying, good luck. Yeah, let me know how it goes, because I hear it's iceberg season. I hear it's iceberg season on the Atlantic Ocean. And I'm just going to, even if I had a first-class ticket, even if someone pretty much walked up to me with a first-class ticket and said, Bunyan, you're going to be first class over to America. You can start a new living there. It's even better than what you're doing before. I'd say, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to roll this thing up. I'm going to tear it in little pieces and toss it to the fish, because that's all it was good for. You never, ever get on something that has been previously built and not tested. You're never be the first person to test an object from a company specifically you're not sure of, and that goes for roller coasters.
Is that why you are so adamant about like the Harrelson CBDs? Like, because it's proven?
Harrelson's own CBD is proven. And part of me thinks that they might be going out of business, by the way. So if anybody's interested in buying some CBD products, head on over to Harrelson's own and let them know that Bunyan sent you. And believe me, I have tested and I have proven that it does work.
What did you find the most improvement in when you were on the CBD?
I don't know. Most improved off me when I was smoking CBD, or I was spraying CBD. Well, let's just say between you and me. I'd say that's all about Harrelson's Own, and we're not going to talk about it for the rest of the show, for example. So if you're listening from Harrelson's Own, we're not talking about it anymore. And now what I'd say, and I'm going to give him a second. And I'm going to give him a second to close out the Spotify app too, because some people might still be listening. I say I haven't tried this stuff before, and I can't. It seems a bit too pricey for me. It's pretty expensive, and so I haven't tried it yet.
I think that's fair, but like, yeah, that would be a lucrative brand deal, because they clearly are like rolling in the cash because they are charging so much.
Yeah, they're charging how much? It's got to be $60 for a couple cans or a couple sprays of it.
And it doesn't even get you high.
And I agree, and that might be a little bit of a downside, is it doesn't quite get you stoned as other things such as marijuana does. And but on the plus side, I think it's legal across the entire United States as far as I'm concerned. And if it's not, listen, I'm not selling anything on this website. I'm not directly profiting off of anything. I'm just saying, giving a good reach out to a brand that I might have seen a few times on Game Show Network and thought, that looks like a good commercial. I think that they put a lot of effort in their business. And of course, they got a one and only Brett Harrelson. Yep. So that's that on that. Well, it looks like Latte's here. Latte.
Yeah, Latte. What's up, man?
Hey, it's time to talk about. We got to do our Voles discussion before we can get into the damn. Until we get into the rest should talk about Hurt Locker. And I want to bring. If Latte, you want to do can you just update me on what's been going on the forum?
I'm going to be honest, I did not watch the Hurt Locker. After I found out that the Waterville scene was faked, I was just so angry that I couldn't even, tell myself to watch it.
Okay, well, listen, hold on to Hurt Locker talking. Now, you got to say, I am a bit sad you never watched Hurt Locker. I think that I'm a little bit offended by that, but it's okay. We'll move on from it. But let's talk a little bit about the Voles forum just to get summarized here. I just want to know what I missed because I haven't been paying too much attention.
I saw a couple trolls on the forum. I saw 2 weasel posts, 1 praying mantis.
That's right.
I did not like that.
Okay, so how are we up to? We're up to 2 weasels and 1 praying mantis in the last week.
Yeah. Past 2 days.
And it's down a little bit still from what it was before. So fingers crossed we don't get too many more trolls. But I will say that the trolls are taken care of. And they have been put down. And they have been silenced. And they will not be coming, and they're not coming back. I can tell you that much. They're not going to be coming back. And what else happened? Looks like I was looking at some of this stuff earlier. What was the one big thing I wanted to talk about? There's something on the forum.
Was it the honky tonk badonkadonk?
Well, that was a real funny post. I think people should go check that out. You posted a picture of a big Vole shaking his ass. And he was listening to music as he was doing it. I like that. That was a real clever little post.
Mm-hmm.
But there's that. Listen, there was a Jersey Devil question earlier on the forum. Who posted that? Is the person that posted the Jersey Devil in here?
It was please help, don't run.
That's good advice.
That is.
And so what happened was he posted a Jersey Devil on the forum, and he said, "How many Voles do you think could take down a Jersey Devil?" And I thought that was, I got to say, I'm really disappointed in the forum after reading that. That was one thing that I think it's just, you guys are just out of your minds thinking that any Voles can take down a Jersey Devil.
I mean, look at how skinny its legs are. Look, you could just snap them in half.
No. He could fly, and that's all that matters is he could fly away from any Voles that are attacking him.
I don't know. It looks pretty frail to me. At least 1,000 Voles could just take that thing down and just devour it whole.
And all he needs to do is fly up into the canopies, and he'll fly down it one by one. Doesn't matter how long it takes. Jersey Devil swoops down. He picks up 1 Vole, takes it up to the little Jersey Devil nest, eats the Vole in the Devil nest, and then pretty well might eats the rest of them slowly. Might take him a while, but I can't ever see a Vole killing a Jersey Devil. I just can't see it.
Bun, do you remember that that post that Cooper made the other day with the old Call of Duty post with the Vole heads? What if we gave the Voles assault rifles? Do you think that would even out the score?
No, there's a Voles never. I think it's quite a funny little idea that a Vole's going to walk around shooting a gun, and I think, and quite frankly, if somebody put that on the forum as they have before, I have a tendency to laugh at images such as the Voles with assault rifles. There's no question about that, and I think it's a pretty funny little joke. But if he's going to fight the Jersey Devil, there's not a chance in hell that a Vole's actually going to be able to shoot his assault rifle.
But what if they're little and you train them and they're 1,000?
If there was little and you trained them and there was 1,000, all Jersey Devil needs to do is fly. And Jersey Devil, let me tell you something. He lives in the damn Pine Barrens. Pine Barrens, the trees out in the Pine Barrens. Have you guys ever been out in the Pine Barrens?
No.
No.
Pine Barrens is tall trees. There's tall. I don't know how tall, but they're pretty tall. Jersey Devil gets up into those trees. There's a bunch of them. Voles won't even know where he's at.
Where does the Jersey Devil live? Like California?
No, he lives in the Pine Barrens. He lives in New Jersey.
Never heard of that state.
All right, Super Soldier, you want to weigh in on this take? You want to give your opinion on this? Go ahead, Super Soldier.
Well, I just had a question because obviously I agree with you. I don't think any Voles could beat the Jersey Devil. But what if like they were genetically modified? Like, what if we gave them opposable thumbs?
Well, what if you gave them damn jetpacks and you gave them rocket launcher bazookas? And what if they could talk and act like special Marine forces? And in that case, you'll get Jersey Devils going to be dead within half a second, of course. But they're not. We're taking real Voles. You give me any breed. You give me every breed of Vole. You give me 1,000 of every single breed of Vole, every single one. There's not taking down. There's not a chance in hell he's going to take down a Jersey Devil. And that's personally not my opinion. I think it's fact. I think you can genetically modify him. Sure, give him big legs and big muscles and give him damn razor blades for hands too, and let them just slice through the damn Jersey Devil, cut them up into little pieces. That's besides the point. What the point is there's no amount of Voles that can take down a Jersey Devil.
Yeah, frankly, I think these what-if statements are just a little bit ridiculous because that would never happen. A Vole would never get a gun. A Vole would never grow to the size of an elephant. I just think it's a little bit ridiculous.
And here's a little fun fact. If the Vole does grow to a size of an elephant, I watched a video on this the other day. He'd blow up, he'd explode because his body mass is too big for what's inside his body. So that's why you ever come up with a shrink ray idea or even a make a things bigger ray, a ray where you just put a whole much make things large, never use it on a small animal. That thing's going to blow up. Okay, Super Soldier. Thank you. I appreciate your opinion on the subject, even if it seemed a bit wrong to contrary to the original prompt that we were discussing.
I'd like to say
No, you go ahead, Latte. I'm looking.
I have appreciated the Super Soldier's posts on the forum recently. I think they've been a fairly good contributor.
Yeah. What's Super Soldier been posting?
Post a Vole NFT. Really, I think that's a good way to get us some money on the forum. A lot of people were buying it in the comments.
Okay.
Posted Hinoki Bunny wearing a hat. What the hell? There's a post from 196 post from that forum on here. I'm not sure about this anymore.
Well, I've been thinking about 196 recently, and they haven't been coming around much more. But I just said that, look, everyone just needs to set the best example that we can for the general forum, and remember the slogan: "Get with the rules." And
get with the program.
Get with the program. That's right. And that's what I'd say is everybody needs to get with the damn program. And it's getting better. I've seen a lot of stuff getting cleared up in the forum and making there's good progress, I'd say, being made on the general what's the word I'm looking for? What is that? What am I thinking of right now? I'm thinking of posts or thinking of Vole pictures.
GIFs. PNGs.
Well, it's been good. Now I wish Truth is Scarier was here because I would like to talk about that Vole cryptid that he posted.
Oh yeah, the one from Scotland.
Yeah, and I wish Goblin Leg was able to talk about that too.
We got any people from Scotland in here? Please raise your hand.
I gotta say, this orange dreamsicle is better than anything I've ever had. Well, folks, all right, Voles Forum's doing good. I'm glad that everybody's talking and sharing and being well behaved most of all. And it's really enlightening, I'll say. All right, Super Soldier, what else you got? You got something else you want to say?
Yeah, I live in Scotland, so I can answer any questions.
Oh, great. And you ever seen the cryptid that was posted on the other day? Listen, there's a cryptid, and this cryptid is called the Earthhound cryptid, and it's a cousin of the vole from Scotland. And I've seen this drawing of it. Looks like it was back in '99 that this guy drew this thing. To me, it looks like a little bit of a wiener dog. It's got kind of a little bit of a bear face with a long snout and great big bear claws. A little varmint, a little rodent with a bear head and wiener dog body and big bear claws for hands. And a long tail on top of that as well.
No, I thought it had a short
I've
tail.
never seen one. I've never
It looks
seen
like he has a
one,
long tail.
but it is
Well,
nocturnal.
the
and I
illustration
did,
is a little bit
you know,
misleading.
I stepped
Go
in
ahead,
a
Super
hole
Soldier.
and twisted my ankle, and I'm pretty sure it was from that. And I stuck my arm in there, and it went pretty deep. I couldn't
So
grab
you're
anything
saying that
and
you
pull it
came
out.
across you came across a den of the Earthhound.
Yeah.
And this is a real story. Now, let me ask you something, because I do get a lot of trolls in here. Why you got an American accent if you're living in Scotland?
Because I am American, but I'm here for university.
Okay. I didn't know Scotland had universities.
They actually have multiple.
Well, so you're there, and you said it just recently. You got your leg was stuck in a hole. And did you see
Yeah.
this animal? Did you see the
No.
animal in question?
No, I tried to grab it, but I couldn't find anything.
And he pulled your foot down a hole.
No, I just stepped in the hole and twisted my ankle.
Oh, so I see. So you're taking more of an aggressive approach to the situation. I
was
see. All
more of
right,
an
so
accident.
Super Soldier, you're saying that you were pretty well much walking through the woods and you see just a damn molehill, a little hole, and you're walking through the woods and your foot gets caught and you fall and you fall like a fool and you put your damn arm, half your forearm up into a hole looking for whatever was in there.
That is exactly what happened, yeah.
And I got to say, I got to commend you on that, because that is a brave thing to do. And quite frankly, that is something that I frequently do. And I have been, and lots of people have mocked me for that in life. And I have done that with coyote dens. I've done that with tang vermin dens. I've done that with even just walking through the woods and just find just whatever scrap I can find or whatever place to put my hands in. Because let me tell you something, folks. You put your hand, you don't see animals running around. There's animals all over the forest. Okay, animals are constantly running back and forth, whether it's between a tree and between a waterfall, or they're just pretty well much just hiding under ferns. You come walking through, they're all going to head back into their dens. So at one time that you're going to find an animal is when it's pretty well much backed against a cave in its own den. So if you ever want to find something like the Earthhound or find an animal like a vole, I'd say you walk out and in the middle of the woods, you'll find a little hole, stick your hand in and see what you can find. But I wish you'd wear gloves.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd advise just sticking hands in holes, just from, I don't know, venomous animal experience.
Yeah, I mean, you'll get venom, but what you got to hope for is you can get fast enough to the hospital. I've dealt with a few rattlesnakes before, but never even gotten bit. I think that emotionally they're all talk and no bite.
You think a rattlesnake is all talk and no bite, or all rattle and no bite?
It's true.
Yeah, it's exactly what I'd say. I'd say rattlesnakes are more or less bits of pussies.
Yeah, I personally quite enjoy sticking my hand down dark holes. I have seen many rattlesnakes, and I can confirm that they are indeed little bitches. And I don't fear anything that could be hiding down a deep, spooky hole. I think anything down there is just a little bitch.
A little bit of a coward hiding in that dark hole.
Yeah, I agree. He's a coward hiding in a hole. You guys ever gotten bit by a snake?
Yes.
And what kind? Was he a garter snake?
It was a garter snake. It was a baby.
I've also been bitten by a snake.
And what about it was a gardener snake?
No, mine was a full-grown ball python.
Aren't they constrictors?
They are, but I was feeding him, and he accidentally tracked my hand instead of the food, and then sunk his teeth into the meat of my thumb.
And did it touch bone at all? Did the teeth touch your bone?
I don't think so. It did hurt like hell. It felt like if somebody did acupuncture really wrong.
Wow, that's something that I don't think I've ever even gotten close to seeing in person is a snake fang getting into your hand.
Yeah, it was spooky, but he let go pretty quick. He realized that it was a mistake, but it was a couple seconds before he kind of realized, like, hold on, that's not quite right.
Yeah, and I bet when what were you feeding? You're probably dangling a little mouse in front of him too. He's probably all excited. He sees the warm blood and he goes for the kill.
Yeah, it was a pinky, like it was like a baby rat.
Rat fetus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, like not a fetus because it's like it was born, so it was just a baby pinky, but it was still like, yeah. I normally I wore welding gloves actually just in case, and this time I was like, he's fine, and that was a bad call.
And he probably knew that too, because I do think snakes are pretty smart. At least as far as I know, snakes aren't unintelligent. That's not what I'd call them. But listen, I think moral of the story is, folks, don't go sticking your hands down small holes unless you know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Can we all settle on that? Can we all just say you need to be an expert?
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I suppose you should know some hole etiquette before you start sticking appendages down holes. I'll admit to that.
And what's the best? What Pronghorn? You're a wildlife guy. What would you be your number one? What do you call them?
What
appendages or
what's
appendages. Your number one? Etiquettes. Yeah, a piece of etiquette.
So I always just get a stick first and just kind of jam that down. And see if anything screams.
Yep.
And then if I don't hear anything, I just go for it. I usually use my left hand just in case something does go wrong. That is my least favorite appendage, my left hand. So I don't really. I personally don't give a hoot or a holler if I lose it. I think it'd be better for me if I did lose it. So I just shove my left hand down there and I just start reaching around and grabbing for, little bitch ass rattlesnakes or any tengu vermin or any big old catfish or anything. I just go for it.
Yeah, and that's good. I think go for it. It's one of the best pieces of advice you can give. There's some guys at the mine up the road from me. You won't even believe what they were trying to do. A couple of years back, I think it was right before COVID. And there was a what was going on? They were trying. I think they had little holes in the wall that they were mining out, and they had a bet to see who could put their how can I say this on Reddit talk? Well, they put their
schlong,
their male part into a little small cavern, and they said that back in there was a bat that had flown in there. And they said whoever could keep it in there the longest without a bat biting it would get a couple bits of money that they were putting in there. And that's what they were telling me. And I thought that was a really funny little idea. And I think that would be something that I personally wouldn't do, but maybe you guys could try if that's something up your alley.
Yeah, so I have no sense of personal safety or anything. But even I mean, I don't know, man. That's just perverted. And I'm not a sex pervert, so I don't go sticking things like that in places they don't belong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I try not to as much anymore, but I think moral of the story is I can do whatever I want and I can put my appendages anywhere, and I know for a fact there's not a chance that anything's ever going to touch me because I got God on my side.
That is a powerful ally to have, Bun.
Yep. Been there since I was just a boy, and he hasn't left me yet, so I don't think he'll leave me next. I wouldn't say he'd leave me for anything.
I would hope not. That'd be pretty unfortunate to be abandoned like by God in this cruel world.
What in the Samo is going on with this? Okay, well, I'd love to start talking about the Hurt Locker. And I'm looking at some of the comments about it. Yeah, I'd like to start talking about Hurt Locker. I want to make sure the Goblin knows that we're going. I hope the Goblin's all right. I don't want to start without Goblin Leg, as she was the one that recommended the film to me. All right, here's Cable. Yeah, go ahead, Cable.
Yeah, speaking of Goblin, wasn't she the one that recommended going earlier on the time? So I'm pretty sure she'll be here. She might just be a little late, I think.
Yeah, I guess we'll see one way or the other if she shows up or not. I'd like to see her here, but well, we can skip a little bit forward on this thing. Hmm. 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 Hmm.
Somebody's asking about the Bureau of Land Management in the Voles live chat.
Oh, what are they saying about it?
I said, "What's your thoughts on the Bureau of Land Management?"
What in the Sam hell is that?
I don't know. I don't know. I'd say that my thoughts on it got to be whatever you want to do with it. There's times when they could easily kick you off whatever property that they're on, but at the end of the day, I don't give a shit.
I'm quite a fan of them. I like
stronger.
it. They let you camp on their property.
I would like to put out a fun little tidbit about the Bureau of Land Management. You might be aware of this, Bun. Actually, seeing that you live in Nevada.
I would say I'm aware of it.
Yeah, so they own, I think, about 80% of pretty well much all land in the state of Nevada, which is interesting because I don't know, pretty well much no one else wants it.
Well, it's because they got government testing facilities out there.
The government has to drop their nuke somewhere, you know.
And I'm one of the few 20% of places where I own the property that I live on, no matter whether it's Nevada or whether it's whatever damn state could it even be. I own what I live on, and I even own. Well, I don't own much of the mine, but it's more or less of a leasing deal.
I mean, the mine that you live inside.
No, I don't live inside the mine, but you know what is benefited of owning my own land is if I can, I looked up, I followed up on Hard Leon, I followed up on the Hard Leon situation, and if I can get him on my property, if he comes onto my property, I have full right to extinguish the creature, no matter what type of land he's on.
And are your javelins, are those ready? Have you been practicing throwing those spears?
Yeah, I think yesterday or the day before I headed back out there. So what I did for the folks who are just joining is I had a truck that I crashed not too long ago. So what I went and did is I pretty well much started taking it apart for scrap metal, and then I started tying it and making javelins out of them because I was going to head out and start looking to find a way to hunt Hard Leon. As he is on my property again, I'd say more recently in the past little few weeks than not. I don't know if it's he's trying to migrate to a different property and it's bringing him closer to me, but he's right in my grasp. And like many people know, I don't own firearms anymore for reasons that I don't personally think I need to say. And so what I did is I pretty well much made javelin out of scrap metal. And I've been throwing them, and I'm going about, I think I've thrown I'm up to 60, 70 yards a piece with them. And I can go one about every 2 seconds. So I can really throw those things like I'm Superman, man. I could throw those things. And I think that if you put 6 targets in front of me, I could get every single one in under 10 seconds with all 6 of them on my back, strapped to me with the duct tape and electrical wire as I have.
Kind of a Mad Max kind of vibe, eh?
Which one's Max?
That's the what's that guy's name? That Australian one. That's the one from the 80s.
No, that's
Steve.
No, you're thinking of well, what was that guy's name? He came in here a couple weeks ago. He was trying to get in to be a member on a Voles forum. There's 2 of them, 2 Australians.
Oh yeah, that must have been them.
If I remember right, that's kind of how I remember it is. I do remember a couple Australians showing up, and I never saw them post after that either. Remember, there was Frog. You guys remember Frog?
Yeah, I saw a frog the other day.
And what was Frog up to? What was he doing?
I don't know. It's like eating eating bugs and stuff out.
No, he was not.
in the grass.
He was not eating. He was not eating. You're trying to troll me.
That's what frogs do. They just kind of sit in water and eat bugs and stuff.
Kind of hop around and whatnot.
Yeah, just kind of be frogs, you know?
Let me rephrase the question. You guys remember? You guys ever heard of a guy named Frog on a forum? He used to be a buddy of ours coming around here.
Oh, I think I remember this guy because you made the joke saying that it was great because we already had Toad. So having Frog was kind of like having a matching set.
Yep, that's right. And he was from Australia, and I think in general that's kind of where we loop back with this thing. Is yes, he was from Australia, I guess. And guess what? He never shows up again. And that's that. We'll close the book there on his story. If that's all right with the rest of you, that is, because I don't know much more about it.
Kind of seems like a bit of a traitor. Say, Bun, when are the tickets for the Portland Comedy Film Festival going on sale?
Yeah, it should be up on sale right now, I think. I think they should be up there.
For November?
Yes, I think if you head to the Portland Comedy Film Festival website, which you can find on Google, on somewhere. They should be up right now. I noticed I got some people who told me that they were buying tickets to it the other day. I checked the website again, try to find a place because they are for sale. I do know somebody bought tickets. So I'd say just check the website again. And for all you guys who don't know, I will be appearing in Portland, Oregon on November 13th. I'm going to be at a comedy film festival from a movie that was made about me. And I'm excited to see it. I will be watching it for the very first time. So if you're in Portland, come see me. Come shake hands with me. And that's November 13th.
I'm real excited.
And you're going to be there, Latte?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's great. That's really great. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to just having a great time that night. And it sounds like the film is closing out the festival, which is the grand finale, as they say it. All right, listen, folks. I would love to bring people in here to talk. But you gotta write in the chat what you're trying to ask, because I can't have trolls in here as we have in the past.
I think Goblin Leg is on her way. By the way.
Oh, that's good. Now that's good to hear. That's good to hear because I can't wait to talk about Hurt Locker. I am really excited to talk about.
Oh, here she is.
That's all right. Okay. All right, Goblin, I'm going to start bringing you in here in just a second. I got to start. Yeah, I think this guy's trying to troll me.
I'm so sorry. I thought it started in like 20 minutes time rather than like 40 minutes ago.
Oh no, it's okay. I could have clarified a little bit better.
No, that was 100% my fault. But have you started on the Hurt Locker debate yet?
No, we haven't. I was waiting for you to get here before we were going to start talking about it. Did you watch the movie, Goblin Leg? Goblin Leg, did you watch?
Yes, I have watched the movie. Well, yeah.
Well, are you ready to start talking about the film? Yes, I did. Well, this is just great. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you all heard of a little movie called
Is it going to be just me monologuing?
No, we're going to talk.
I'd
just
like
have
that.
A discussion about it. I'll start talking about my own. I'll talk about some of the things that I thought I could get the thing going here. If you want, I'll lead.
Sure.
I'll lead. So we started back. Goblin Leg recommended this movie to me called A Hurt Locker, and it turned into a little bit of a challenge on the Voles Reddit. Everybody was going to watch the movie before right now, and I got to say, it sounds like everybody watched it, so I'm really happy about that. Let's see. Where to start with this damn thing? I gotta say, I think this is a real great movie. I thought it was a real Fang movie. I really liked a lot of the action scenes, and also on top of that, with a big. No, I'll save that for the end. I think that. Let me just start off by saying this, okay? If you watch The Hurt Locker and you notice what it's like for those guys to take out bombs to keep people safe, now that's pretty well much what Goblin Leg and I do on a forum every single day. We're more or less like a bomb squad in Iraq. If you want to compare the duties that we do on Reddit, if you ever want to know, for example, if you ever wanted to know what it's like to be a Reddit moderator, I would say watch The Hurt Locker. Check it out. See how tough it is to get it just right. Because remember, you ban the wrong person, and Reddit's going to come pretty well much breathing down your neck. And in the movie, if you don't blow up the bombs, or if you don't defuse the bombs, then they're going to blow up and lots of people is going to die. And I say the stakes of that are pretty well much around the same types of stakes that I would consider moderating the Reddit. And they did a really good job at giving us that feeling.
You know, I would even go as far to say that Reddit moderators are braver than the U.S. military.
Well, I wouldn't say that because Jeremy Renner in the movie is one of the bravest people I've ever seen.
Wait, this movie's got Jeremy Renner in it?
Yeah, Jeremy Renner from Wind River's in it.
Wow. From the Jeremy Renner app.
Yeah, I don't know much about that, but I do know he was in the movie. And I do know that he was a bomb squad guy. And let me just summarize a little bit of the movie, okay? And God will let you or someone, I don't care who, somebody help me out, kind of guide through this. So we started out in Iraq, okay? It's been probably a couple years after 9/11. We got some U.S. Army guys. He's in Iraq, and the guy dies right away. He gets blown up, and Jeremy Renner pretty much puts on the bomb suit. Now, Jeremy Renner's character, he goes out and he defuses bombs and whatnot. And he was walking around the sand in Iraq, and they just have a good time, and they just got buddies, and it's a real funny movie. I'd say it's a drama, but it's also a big comedy, I'd say, in a lot of regards. There was a sniper rifle shootout scene, which was really Fang. If you ever want to watch a really cool sniper rifle shootout, you ever seen one of those? The best way I've ever seen it done is in a movie like this. And I got to say, there were some good parts with the action. But it was an all right movie. I'd say it was probably one of the best I've ever seen. And the best part about it to me, Jeremy Renner is one of the bravest men on this planet, and I think that we'd be doing a disservice if we didn't start talking about him more on the forum and start maybe even message him on social media and tell him what we thought about his performance.
Maybe he could do an appearance on our forum.
Yeah, I reached out to him. I sent a tweet to him.
I think he'll reply.
I don't think he's gonna get back to me.
Well, he seems like kind of like a down to earth guy. I feel like he'll reach out to us as a small forum.
And let's say, did you watch the movie?
Not yet. Now that I know that Jeremy Renner's in this movie, I'm probably gonna watch it tonight.
And Goblin Leg, what'd you think of it?
Well, I'll say I like Jeremy Renner a lot more in this movie than I did in the damn Marvel films. But that's aside the point. I thought it was an interest. I've seen like one of them like 6 years ago. I don't care for them, but that's nothing to do with the Hurt Locker. I thought it was an interesting.
The Bomb Squad guy's in the Marvel films. He's the character from the film from Hurt Locker.
Not the character, Jeremy Renner. No.
Oh, I thought you were saying he was a superhero the whole time. He's going to be in the next superhero movie.
I think that would be an interesting. I think someone ought to make that. I think Latai maybe could get on that, or Davey maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I could make that movie on my own.
At the end of the film, and we're going to spoil the film, so if you guys don't watch spoilers, you better look away. At the end of the film, he ditches his family to go back to the war, which I thought was really Fang. I thought that was one of the coolest things anybody's ever done in a movie. And he goes right back out there, and guess what? Where the hell's the Hurt Locker 2?
Did they make one?
No, but they need to. I'd say we're getting it. How many years has it been? It's been 13 years, and I think that they were clearly leaving it open for a sequel at the end, and quite frankly, I don't think we ever got one.
Yeah, let's get Hurt Locker 2, but in relation to the Syrian conflict instead of the Iraq War.
Oh, now that's an idea that you could really start selling in the big picture studios.
And people are really into the Syrian conflict right now.
Well, because you could have him in whatever war is going on in the world. You could have him. You could have him in Ukraine.
Yep.
He could be every time there's a
Jeremy
war on the planet.
Renner.
You make a Hurt Locker movie.
Yeah, send him South China Sea.
Is there a war there right now?
Yeah, China's trying to take over like the Philippines and Vietnam and
Well, I
anything
don't know
in
what
the South China Sea.
I don't know what we can or can't say on the podcast in regards to foreign affairs. I don't want us getting blocked off in any country. So let's. I would say as we take a quick bunny hop over it, that would be very Fang to see him in the water diffusing bombs underwater.
Yeah.
Or he could do one in space, and he could do a Hurt Locker up on the moon, which would be. I think that would more or less be something that would be a little bit out of control, and I don't think would be very good for the film. But you could do it. It's a possibility. Write your comment in the ask what your ask your comment in the chat before raising your hand, and we'll try to get you up here. I got to read what you're going to ask before inviting you on here. What else you think of it, Dominic?
I think there's pretty much infinite possibilities for the Hurt Locker franchise. I think they really have dropped the ball with that one in not developing more Hurt Lockers. Frankly, I think they should maybe pump one out every year, like Hurt Locker 2, Hurt Locker 3, Hurt Locker 4. I mean, it just goes on.
Yep.
But
I agree. I think that would have been great. And plus, think about all the cool stuff. Man, that guy was such a cool action hero. And it made me think that if I were in Iraq, that's one of the things I think I'd be good at. Because I don't have fear. I'm just like him. I don't really got a lot of fear. That's what I really related to him in that sense. And I'm sorry to say, I really hated Anthony Mackie's character, because he pretty well much just got on my nerves. He's trying to get Jeremy Renner's character to back off. I knew the whole time Jeremy Renner was going to be able to defuse the bomb, so why didn't Sam Hill the guys yelling at him for? I know the movie's 2 hours long. 45 minutes in, the damn guy's telling him to stop defusing the bomb. Well, guess what? I'm here to watch Jeremy Renner defuse the bomb. I don't want you trying to get him out of conflict. Every time the damn guy's stepping in Jeremy Renner's way, and it's just pissing me off because I want to see the action. And I even want to see the parts where Jeremy Renner pulls out his gun. I like to see that kind of stuff in a movie.
Yeah, like, do you really think we want to see Jeremy Renner having a fun time with his family? That's not what we came here for.
And that was the worst part of the whole movie, especially the part where he's in the supermarket. I did not like that part at all. And I got to say, go back home to your kid. I agree. I look a baby in the eyes, and especially if it's my own baby, I'm going to say, you know what? Iraq's better than this shit, and then leave. I know what it's like. I know what it's like raising kids. Now, Goblin Lake's gone. I wanted Sam Hill happen to Goblin Lake. Anyone got any thoughts on Hurt Locker?
Yeah, I just want to say I want to admit I was not able to get around to watching it. However, I am enjoying reading the plot on Wikipedia, and it seems like a good movie. I should probably get around to watching it someday. When they finally get their heads out of their asses and starts making yearly Hurt Locker sequels, I'll be sure to start watching them every single year.
Yeah, and they're going to be good. Oh, there's God. Like, okay. I would hope they're good. I'd say that's an Academy Award winner right there. And speaking of, that reminds me, there was a movie I watched in the late 2000s that won Best Picture, and it reminded me a lot of this movie. But I don't remember what that one was called. I'm like, you remember another movie from around 2008, 2009. It won Best Picture. And it was kind of like The Hurt Locker, if I remember right.
Hello?
Yes. Can you hear me, Gomleg? Did you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm on my computer. I didn't know it had a microphone, but I'm back.
Okay, all right. Well, good. It's good to see you're back. I was worried something happened.
It's just the damn Wi-Fi. I think there's been something chewing at the damn wires of it up on the roof. But
it's probably a smaller varmint.
Yep.
Hurt Locker, the Squeakle. Yep, that. Yeah, but I thought, I don't know. I thought that was a good movie. But do you remember back in the day? I think it was 2008, 2009. There was a movie that won Best Picture at the Academy Awards, and it was a lot like this movie. It was a war movie that I watched way back then. I don't remember who was in it, but I think the guy had a son. I think he had a kid back home, or no, he had a kid that was helping him out in the desert, and the kid dies, I think, at some point. Whatever it was, I don't know. Hey, you guys with your hands up, I read your little troll questions, and I'm not going to be putting any of that garbage, that junk up here on my website. No, Tiny Image, you keep doing that, you're going to get kicked. I don't deal with any sex talk or horny talk or any of that porno talk. I don't like any of that sex stuff. Well, Gum Leg, what else do you think about the damn
I really like the scene where he pulled up the bomb and then there were like 5 bombs attached to it. I thought that was kind of represents the modding experience on r/Voles here, because you get one troll out and then there's 5 more where it came from. And
that's right. Yeah, that's yeah. You go ahead.
No, I had nothing else to say. I was just kind of, yeah.
Listen, that's exactly right, because you open up a damn troll statement, look at the replies. There's always some other idiot in there that's wanting to ban. And guess what? I can guarantee you that there's a couple people that's going to be hanging around the Voles forum after this meeting wanting to ban. And guess what? Bomb Squad's got to go. Just like Jeremy Renner, I could go and I could feed my dogs and cat and give them a good dinner tonight, or I could go and hop back onto Reddit and start kicking trolls out. And guess what I'm going to pick? That's right. I'm going to kick the trolls out.
I think we should get Jeremy Renner on here to be on the podcast. I don't know if someone brought that up already, but
yeah, Latte said something about it, and I agree. I think that Jeremy Renner, to do an interview and to just thank him for what he did for that movie.
Exactly, and maybe convince him to kind of restart the franchise with Hurt Locker 2, Hurt Locker 3, on and on.
They could make it for years. Hey, do you feel like you have PTSD after watching that?
Me?
Yeah.
I feel like that's probably, I don't know about that, but
I was watching a film, and as soon as it got over, I heard Big Will slammed on a microwave, and it freaked me out. And I've been thinking about it a couple of days now. I won't lie, every time I hear a big boom, I'm starting to think it's a bomb. And I got to say, no movie's ever made me think like that before. I was even walking into town the other day, and I was walking down Main Street, and I said, what if one of these cars has a bomb under it and it blows up, and that's it for me?
Yep. I mean, that's probably a pretty real concern. I think most cars, you can't really tell from the outside whether they've got a bomb in them. So it's like,
nope.
Which one is safe? Which one has the bomb, you know?
Yeah, and if it were up to me, I'd say just let me open any hood I want and just take a peek just for my own well-being. I'm not going to touch anything inside the car. I'm not going to hurt the car. I'm not going to break in. But if I'm walking down the road, you bet your ass I do want to lift up the hood every once in a while, check what's in there just to be sure. And let me tell you, 10 times out of 10, there's not going to be a bomb under there. But now that I'm thinking about it, there could be.
Yeah, you just want to be on the safe side with that kind of thing. Like, no harm done if there's no bomb there, other than them maybe getting a bit pissed off that you opened up their car without their permission. But if there was a bomb, now then you could go fully Jeremy Renner and deal with it like he does in the film, and that would just, save the day for everyone.
Look at all these trolls. I agree. I think that it's a good idea to start having some sort of system like that. And hey, did that last scene remind you of Seinfeld at all?
Yeah, I kind of got that. I don't know. I need to watch more Seinfeld, but I really think that Jeremy Renner might I think he would do well in Seinfeld.
Yep. I agree. I think that I wonder if he was in an episode. I mean, he's not that old, but he could have been in. Maybe he was a child actor on the show at one point.
Yeah, I mean, stranger things have happened. I think Danny DeVito was maybe in Seinfeld. I think I maybe actually made that up or saw it in a dream, but it could have happened.
I think someone's trying to tell me that Danny DeVito died.
What? No, he didn't.
Someone told me the other day he died in 9/11.
I don't think that's true. I think that's maybe some kind of damn troll. I
would agree. I think it is a dang troll, but I will say it happened a couple weeks back, and I did for a couple weeks think that he was dead. I think I saw him on a commercial on Fox NFL Sunday, and I was saying, "What Sam Hill? How's he making a commercial 21 years past his own death?"
Well, it's like, I think sometimes nowadays when they've got a film and the actor's dead, they use CGI to pretend that the actor's there. So I think maybe if Jeremy Renner dies one day, then there's still an opportunity for another Hurt Locker. There's never, yeah.
Which one was your favorite Hurt Locker? Oh, yeah, that's right. There's only one. I thought there's. For some reason, for a split second, I was thinking they already made one with the other wars.
Yeah.
They didn't do that yet.
You're kind of living in the ideal world in which there's Hurt Locker 2, Hurt Locker 3.
And Hurt Locker in Space is another good one.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I fully agree with that. I think that you could have it in pretty much any setting, as you said. Because
Hurt Locker on Mars, perhaps?
Yep.
Sorry?
So you can do Hurt Locker on Mars.
Oh, yeah, no, that would be great.
Hey, but
that'd be good because he gets to drive a Mars rover, just like in the first scene they had a little Mars rover in Iraq.
Yeah, although I don't know who would be planting the bombs on Iraq. I mean, I don't know, aliens.
Oh yeah, on Mars. Yeah, I'm not sure. Pronghorn, what were you trying to say?
Oh, so pardon my ignorance for not actually watching this movie.
Okay.
I was confused. So which of the characters is Locker, and how did he get hurt? Did he get blown up by a bomb?
That's a good question. I can't really answer that for you because I don't actually know what the meaning of the film's title is.
That's interesting.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. I have nothing to say.
Oh, well, I was kind of thinking that the kind of hurt was just representing all the people in the film who were maybe hurt or blown up by bombs or even
that's a good
family
point.
At the end after he left them. They must have felt hurt, but not sure about the Locker. I can tell you that much.
Well, that's a great point. I agree. I think it has to do with the fact that people were getting hurt a lot in the movie.
Well, so if you get blown up by a bomb, does that actually hurt?
Yeah.
Like, would you even register that you got blown up by a bomb?
I think I would. I don't know about you though.
Hey, Pronghorn, listen to this. There was a scene in a film where the guy they take his son, they take his kid, and they put a bomb inside of him because they're going to plan on sending him out with a bomb inside him to go blow up something. And Jeremy Renner finds his son like that.
Well, that's not very nice.
No, it was a shocking scene. I'll tell you that. It was something it was a little bit scary. I'm not gonna lie. It did freak me out a good amount.
Why would they do that? What were they pretty well much trying to blow up?
Well, his son was selling porn DVDs to the troops.
Oh yeah, he was saying, "Do you want gay porn? Do you want all sorts of porn?"
Yeah, that's right. He was offering gay porn. It's exactly what happened. He was offering movies too, a little bit of movies, and he had bad copies of the movies. The movies weren't any good. And Jeremy Renner, of course, he says to his son, he says, "Son, I need you to go back and make sure those movies are okay." And so it was my interpretation of it is that the terrorists didn't like the movies that the kid was selling, and they put a bomb inside of him, and they were just going to send him into a market or something.
So they were just pretty well much upset that they were being sold bad movies. You know, it wasn't what they paid for. They wanted their nice gay porn movies, but it was something else.
They left it ambiguous. It was a little bit ambiguous, but I'd say that's what it sounded like to me.
That seems. You know what? I think that seems fair. I would be pretty upset if I wanted to buy my gay porn movies and they were like old cooking shows or something. You know, not something I paid for.
I would be upset too, but I don't think that warrants blowing another person up. I think that's a bit extreme.
They did that a lot in the movie. In one scene, they pretty well much put a damn steel rib cage on a guy and put bombs inside of it. And they couldn't get that one off. They couldn't even try to get that one off. He almost did it, and he was a bit like George from Seinfeld. He was trying to get it off, and he goes, I'm sorry, just like George from Seinfeld, and he just runs off into the distance, and the guy pretty much blows up.
Hey, bud, I don't know if you're seeing this, but the chat's getting a little out of control here.
Well, it's getting a little bit crazy, I guess.
What are they saying?
You got to see for yourself.
I don't know if I can.
I'm not repeating that filth.
Wait, I'm trying my best.
Hey, Toad, cool. First of all, there's already a guy in this community named Toad, so you got to get a new name if you want to stick around here. But you got to cut it out, or you're going to get a ban. So I'm just warning you. Broccoli, how you doing? You had a good question earlier that I do think we need to address.
Hello, sorry. If my audio good?
The audio is just fine. It sounds just good.
Okay, cool. So I was gonna ask about so I think as you guys are aware, that like Voles scene that the person posted about that like they claimed was in the movie, was completely fake.
Yeah, so a couple weeks ago when we first started talking about Hurt Locker, somebody comes in and they say, "Look at this scene. I got a scene from a movie," and they show Jeremy Renner's looking down a scope, and he sees a vole swimming across the water. Well, that wasn't in the movie at all, and it was apparently a video edit. I think it's what Broccoli's trying to say.
Yeah, but what I was wondering was like, if you could like go back in time and tell them like, hey, put Voles into the movie, how do you think Voles might have like affected the story or even affected the outcome of the story? Like, do you think they could have had like terrorist Voles or something?
No, I think if they had Voles in them, the best they'd be is maybe in the scene when they're in the middle of the desert, in the shootout in the middle of the desert. I think maybe you could see one real tiny just a little tiny part of the camera screen, just sitting on a rock or something. That's the extent of all I could see them doing. But I will say that scene with the vole, and it wasn't a vole. In fact, what it was is they were shooting terrorists in a brick house with a 50 caliber sniper rifle.
Yeah, I remember that scene. But like, what I was thinking was like, let's say maybe you've got like Jeremy Renner like walking through the desert, like so that other like sergeant guy. Then all of a sudden they hear a loud like boom behind them, and like one of their other people, one of the other soldiers with them, like goes up flying in the air, and they're like, oh shit, like there's a bomb. And then they look, and under like burrowing in the ground are like 20 Voles, and each of them have some sort of like explosive device attached to them.
Well, if they did, they'd just be little tiny explosives. They'd be little firecrackers compared to the rest of the bomb. Because you think about it, you gotta put a bomb on a person. You gotta fit it all around their waist. Vole can't carry around a big bomb.
That's a good point. Maybe you have like 10 Voles carrying one large bomb.
It could be, but I'd say that Voles, You can't get them to do anything worthwhile. They just are going to run around and pretty well much be on their own.
Well, that's what makes them so dangerous in this scenario, because, like, I mean, humans, like, you kind of know where they're going to go, but, like, these voles, they could be anywhere.
Yeah, and then they start burrowing in the ground, and the next thing you know, you're sitting there taking a shit out of the toilet because one of those voles you put a bomb on, and he blows up right in your asshole.
Exactly.
And that's going to backfire on you.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Something like that.
Goblin Leg, you're trying to say something.
Oh, I was just going to say that would be a very scary addition to the film. I think I was looking for the whole fake scene with the Jeremy Renner looking at the voles, but I couldn't find it. But I think if they had turned round and there had been all these voles with explosives tied to them, I think that would have changed the feel of the film completely. I think it would have become more horrific than it was.
Yep, I agree. I think it'd be pretty. I think just watching a vole blow up would be something, though. I think I would. I think I would like to laugh at that a little bit. Any other questions about a Hurt Locker? Anybody got any new comments or anything? You got to write them in the chat below, and I'll put you up here. I didn't think it was a pretty good movie, though. I did like it a good amount.
Yeah, I thought it was a good recommendation on my part, despite me having not seen it. But I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was a good pick. I think that was a good selection. It was very realistic, too, I will say. It seemed like a very realistic film.
Yep.
Also, you know the guy at the very beginning who dies right in the first explosion? You know he's going to die because I already knew that Jeremy Renner was in the movie, so who in the Sam Hell is going to put on the bomb suit if not for him? That guy was a sitting duck from the get-go to anybody who'd put any research into the film before starting it or even just looking at the damn DVD cover.
Well, I didn't even realize that the first guy had died until like a fair way into the film, but I think they...
Yeah, how did he die? He just had blood coming out of his face.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. That can happen to people, and they can wake up the next morning and just go about their daily chores. I mean, how are you to know he's dead?
Yeah, that's true. I guess he could just be a little bit hurt. I guess they never even said that he was dead.
Yeah, I think more films need to be clear about these kind of things because they can't just go about and... I mean, this is a spoiler for the film Little Woman, but I didn't even know which sister had died. I mean, I don't know if any of you have seen this film, but in it, one of the sisters, she's sick, and then they have a funeral. But I didn't know who the funeral was for because they didn't make it clear. So that's kind of the parallel between The Hurt Locker and Little Woman, but...
They should make a Little Women movie where all the girls, they just sit around and smoke hashish.
I completely agree. I think
that'd be a great movie.
Yeah, no, I think that would be it would add to the whole, because women do that sometimes. They just have a little...
Sometimes they're a bunch of stoners.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that more films should have just... women being little stoners, smoking little weed. I think that's okay. Good.
Yeah, and right before I watched the movie, I even said I really hope that this movie has some good action scenes in it, and I hope that it shows men doing manly things. And I thought that was one of the best movies I'd ever seen for male representation because it just really got you feeling like you wanted to head out there and just start chopping up bombs yourself. And I think that being realistic, I think that again, I could do that just as easy as any of them if you taught me the right way. Even if you're just teaching me in my headset about how to take a bomb off, I'd say that I could do it just fine.
I thought the bit where Jeremy Renner, he takes off all his bomb clothes and then he takes off his headphones. I thought that was, yeah.
That was Fang. I liked that a lot. That Yeah, that was Fang. I think at the end of the day, Hurt Locker, I would have rated it a perfect movie.
I agree. I think it was. I don't think they make enough movies like that nowadays. I think they should look at the classics like Hurt Locker and kind of think, well, what can we do to make our movie more like Hurt Locker?
Yeah, I agree. I think that would be a great idea but the problem is too is we're running out of wars to make movies out of. There just aren't enough wars happening nowadays, and so soon enough, I'd say probably 50 years from now, you're going to just get all the war movies are going to be done if the world stops being a war.
Are you saying that we should have more wars so that we can make more films in the Hurt Locker franchise?
I will say that if there are any big wars, I would say long term, I would be excited to see a movie about them. I don't want them to happen, but I would. I think that personally, the idea of being able to see a movie about it after it's done is not too bad. If it does make me a little bit excited that we're going to get some good movies.
Well, it's kind of like Davy's whole pro-nuclear war thing, with him saying, "Well, maybe we should have a nuclear war." I mean, yeah,
we will have one. We will have one coming up soon. That would be a great movie too. And guess what? Whoever's going to be in the movie about it, they're pretty well much going to be playing me and how I survived, because there's no way in hell that nukes are going to possibly hit me. I'd say that missiles, ICBMs will hit me, hit my area, the general area to disable the military bases. But there's nobody out where I live. There's not a single nuke that's going to even get close. I'd say maybe to Las Vegas, but say I just walk up into the hills. That's it for me. All I need to do is head out there, and I could live off there a few months till things are quieted down a bit. That's gonna be the best. Talk about a movie winning Best Picture. It's called Bunyan, surviving a nuclear war up in the mountains and teaching you how to do it while he does it. And I hope that comes into production soon. I hope that we can start going into production on that now and then if somebody's going to start writing the script.
Yep.
All right. Well, yeah, we had a good Hurt Locker discussion. Nobody else wants. Goblin Leg, you got anything else you want to say about Hurt Locker?
I feel like we've probably covered it all. I mean, I think we talked about all the scenes that I felt passionately about. So maybe we can move on to the next subjective plan.
Yeah, and you know what that subject is? I'm going to start just opening the floor to questions. If anyone wants to ask a question, any type of damn question, just make sure you write it in the chat beforehand. Do not try to ask me a question, and don't try to raise your hand if you haven't written your question in the chat already. I want to know what I'm getting myself into. Let's put it that way. I want to know what I'm getting myself into. And with the last guy talking about how horny he was and all this sexual talk about me, it's the kind of thing I don't want to deal with tonight. So if you have a question, make sure you put it in the chat and then raise your hand and I'll clarify. I'll see if it's a good enough thing to talk about on the show. There's a lot of new people. I'm guessing all these people are coming from Reddit talks. Now that they got the damn thing promoted.
Are they still shutting down Reddit talks?
No, they actually launched them today. You can't do them on your profile, but you can do them. You can do them on your Reddits.
So now, how have we been doing them if they didn't have them until now?
No, they had them. I had private permission from Reddit itself to host them.
How did you get permission?
How did I get permission? I messaged the Reddit admin. I said, hey, I got a show idea I want to put on my show. Can I use this feature? And they said, Bunyan, we'd love to have you.
Yeah, I think that's ultimately a good thing for the forum, for you to kind of be offering an olive branch to the Reddit. What do you call them? The people who run Reddit.
I'd say they're more or less of just I'd say we'll use the CEO as a colloquial term.
Yeah.
How does that sound? That sounds good. Personally, I think that sounds good to me.
I think I agree with that. If no one else has any disagreements with that, I think, yeah, we can use the CEO as a term.
Super Soldier wants to know why I'm going to keep my picture as the werewolf. You want to know about it? You want to know? I'm gonna keep it for a couple of days. I think just a couple of days over. I do like looking at it. I think it looks really fang. I was in that other Reddit talk just not too long ago before the show started, and I got in there and I was talking, and everybody got to see the werewolf picture, and I thought that was awesome. It was something it really made me feel better about it. So Broccoli, you had an argument with your buddy about whether he was a good guy?
Yeah. I had an argument with a friend. So I was hanging out with my friend, and I was like, "Oh,
Okay.
hey, I finished watching Hurt
How'd
Locker."
you guys meet? How did you guys get to know each other?
Oh, we were in the same math class in high school.
Okay. So you guys are math buddies, and you're probably going to hang out and talk about doing math in the Hurt Locker?
Yeah. And he was like, "Oh yeah, I watched that movie," and I was like, "Oh, what did you think about it?" And then my friend, he says like, "Look," he says like, "Man, that Jeremy Renner guy was a real jerk, right?" And I was like,
No, he
"What are
was
you
not a
talking about?"
jerk.
And then
How was he a jerk?
So he's like,
well, how was he a jerk? Why did he say that he was a jerk? I don't get why he was a jerk.
That's what I was gonna get at. So he was like saying, okay, you know, like the beginning of the movie says that Ward is like a drug, right?
That's right.
Jeremy Renner is actually bad because he's addicted to war, and like,
yep, yeah, he loves it. He loves going to war.
Yeah, he's like doing everything for the thrill of it, and like putting everybody's. Yep. He's like taking too many risks. Yep. And then I just looked at him and I said, "I'm sorry, but you're a pussy."
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, forgive my French, but yeah, I just thought it was ridiculous. Like, this guy's putting the extra mile in. Nobody's appreciating it.
And he even wants to go back at the end of the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
He reminds me of Tom Brady almost.
Yeah,
I can't get enough. He can't get enough. The damn guy can't get enough of what he does. Damn guy can't defuse more bombs than he could possibly think of. Well, it's too bad that he said that. I really disagree with the fact. I think Jeremy Renner is an American hero in the film. I think that he deserves a lot of credit for doing what he did and learning how to defuse the bombs.
Yeah, certainly defused more bombs than my friend ever did.
That's right. And I'd say by my point in life, when he gets to my age, he'll have more bombs defused than me.
Oh yeah, that's true. Like,
how many did he say he did? He said he had 468.
I thought it was like 873 or something.
Yeah, I thought it was like 700 and something.
Well, it could have been. Well, I guess however many it was. How many do we think it was? Is it more? It's not more than 1,000. Can't be more than 1,000. I would guess. And that was a true story too, and I thought that was pretty cool. So I wonder if that guy's out there, and I wonder if the guy from the movie he when he went into attendance with him and his buddy from the movie for Anthony Mackie's character, if they sat there and they had to sit by each other while the two characters pretty well much shit talked each other. And remember when Anthony Mackie said he's going to blow up Jeremy Renner, he's going to kill him. Imagine being the guy in real life who that happens to, and you're sitting there and you look at your buddy and you go, "What in the Sam hell? You're actually going to kill me out there?" And he goes, "No, that was just for the movie." Yeah, I didn't really
exactly.
That's what I'd say. I'd say it was for the movie. I would say it was just for the film, and it didn't happen. They were just trying to dramatize it, is what I'd say, to cover if he wants any advice. Well, folks, you got any more questions?
Hey, Bun, I was just I was curious. What do you celebrate Halloween? What did you do yesterday?
No, I don't celebrate Halloween. I celebrate it a little bit every time. Every couple years, I'll get some sort of invite, but this weekend I just didn't. What I've been trying to do though is I've been trying to talk to the miners up the road. I've been trying to tell them. I said, if you guys set up a little Halloween, they call them trunk or treats. It's a little thing where you get all the parents involved. They all drive their cars up into the parking lot, and they all start handing out candy from the backs of their cars. What I said is, let's do a mine trick or treat, a basalt mine trick or treat party. And what happens is all the miners bring their kids up into the mine for Halloween, and it comes to pitch dark, and I could come over and I could start and I could tell stories about the desert, say like Skinwalkers and Hard Leon and whatnot, and get the kids all freaked out. And then what we do is we cross Easter egg hunts with Halloween candy, and we hide a bunch of candy throughout the mine, and they could walk around with their flashlights trying to find the damn candy. And me and the miners' wives, we would go up on a ridge above the mine and start making coyote yipping noises and howling and stuff to freak out the little kids and get them all going. They'd start running around like chickens with their head cut off. We all freak out on Halloween. Here's coyotes and here's ghosts and whatnot. And I think that'd be a great idea. But the real reason I want to do this is because I don't get trick-or-treaters. I'm too far up out of town to get any trick-or-treaters. So this way, at least when the kids are all leaving, they'll see my front light on and they'd say, well, might as well start here.
And I would be down for exploring a spooky mine, looking for Easter eggs on Halloween. That just sounds like the thingest gall-dang thing I could possibly do.
Yeah, it would be a great little opportunity, a lot of fun. It would be almost like having your own little corn maze.
Only it's like deep underground, and instead of corn, it's solid rock, and there's coyotes and stuff around.
And Hard Leon too. You can really profit off of Hard Leon, I think. If you put some Hard Leon merchandise out there, or little cutouts of Hard Leon for the little kids to stand beside and get a picture taken with it. Because that way you get the little kids taking pictures of themselves with Hard Leon. You get a real good little ghost story out of them.
Man, so thinking of Hard Leon and how spooky he is, and profiting off of this a creature of Satan, have you considered pitching any horror movies to Hollywood featuring Hard Leon that you could potentially profit from?
No, because I don't want. Listen, I want to kill Hard Leon before anybody really gets wind of him. I don't want any people coming up into my house and whatnot in my trailer and pretty well much asking for autographs and asking for pictures of Hard Leon. I don't want to become a little tourist trap, if I would say. I think it'd be kind of a little bit fang. I think it'd be okay to have that, but I don't want people walking around in the mine at night or around the ridge line and whatnot. I want people more or less to stay in their own side of town, if you get what I'm saying. I like to have my own piece of property up here, and if people start figuring out that they could come hunt for Hard Leon up where I live, if they get wind of that, I'm done for at that point, because then you got people all over the damn place. What the Sam hell was that? What the fuck was that?
Bun, are you okay? Is Hard Leon there right now?
What was that?
Tell us if Hard Leon is there.
What in the fuck was that?
Oh God, Bun.
That doesn't sound good.
Hey, best friend. Best friend. What in the fuck was that? What in the fuck was that? Hey, this isn't. What in the fuck was that? I think we got a fucking shark bat outside. We got a shark bat outside.
A shark? Bun?
We got a shark bat outside.
A shard bat?
There's a fucking. There's some guy outside right now. He's outside the house.
What?
Tell him to get off your property.
He's not. What in the fuck?
Get your spears. Get your javelins.
What in the fuck was that?
You said it was
What
a guy.
What was that? Did anybody else hear that? Are we?
Is he from the government? Is he coming to take you?
Hey.
Well, it was nice knowing Bun. I hope he finds his peace.
Damn it. This is exactly the kind of bullshit. This is the exact kind of bullshit that I'm talking about. It happens here all the time, and I'm sick of it. And right when I'm talking about this hardly on bullshit. This is it's really something. I got to tell you, it's really something when this bullshit happens.
What is the bullshit?
There's just a shard bat who was coming outside. And he came and slapped on our window.
Hey, so can you explain what in the Sam Hell a shard bat is?
It's a shard bat. It is someone who is more or less coming up here to scrap off of my house to go back into town and sell it for crystal meth.
So he's trying to steal your copper wire to get high on drugs.
No, I think he just came by and slapped on the window, and everybody heard that too, right? That's I have that proof on.
Yeah,
I heard that. Oh yeah,
I heard it.
Well, don't you have your javelins? You could go poke him to death.
No, I listen. I'm gonna let the guy be. He saw me. He's walking. I watched him start walking down the ridge. I got a best friend looking out the window.
Bun, you're a bigger man than I am. I would be out there I'm
just keep
stabbing the fuck out of him if I was you. But
no, you can't do it. I can't do it because I'm still kind of on a mine's property a tiny bit.
I don't know if there's a guy out there at the mine looking to steal copper wire for drugs, I think the miners wouldn't mind if you stabbed them a bit so they didn't steal their mine stuff.
Oh, believe me, they'd mind. They would mind because first chance they get, they'd kick me off of this place.
Well, they sound like ungrateful little shits. I don't like these miners.
You don't like the miners? I don't like the miners either. Look, folks, I think I got to end this here. I got to go deal with this situation.
All right, Bun, we'll stay safe, man.
I wish the best for you.
Thank you, Cable. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. We'll talk again soon, but it's a good talk, and we'll talk again soon.